But that was actually Union Bank's fault, not U.S. Bank.
So we're here gathered in front of the Flower and 5th, close to the U.S. Bank building, because of the current environment. We have become aware that Larry Silverstein, the former owner of the Twin Towers, who bought the Twin Towers in New York a few months before they came down, he put insurance in them, and we're just aware that in 2020, Larry Silverstein bought the U.S. Bank. And with the current environment of the U.S. and Israel war on Iran, and the reports that Iran supposedly wants to attack California, and that supposedly they stole 4 drones from Fort Campbell in Kentucky. It was like we're scared, not really that scared, but we're worried that they might try to use an attack, a false flag attack, to pull troops on the boots on the ground in Iran. I was like, they don't have support for it, so they're trying to lure an attack to be able to send troops into Iran and sacrifice American lives for Israel. It was like, we are spending too much resources on Israel, and we're not getting no benefit of it. It was like we're sending billions, 3.8 billion every year that Obama had signed, and I'm pretty sure Trump renewed it. And then since 1948, the U.S. and other imperial countries have been funding it to submit the Middle East into subordinates. And then since they don't have support of the country, they're trying to rally up support. It's like Iran is far away from the west coast. They would have to cross the whole ocean plus a few other continents like China and India. I was like, it will be easier for them to hit the East Coast because it's closer. I was like, so this
Wall Street's there.
and Wall Street's over there, so it's more. And then Trump doesn't like Newsom, so he's trying to make sure that the Democrats are on the Democrat voting class, which are the lower ranks, that they get involved in this war. They get support because they're opposed against. But if there's an attack here or in the tallest building in the Wilshire Grand Center, there's going to rally a lot of Californians to support the war, and we got to prevent that. So we got to make sure that there's no attack on either that building over there, the U.S. Bank, or any other California building where lives could be at risk. Israel is known to have committed false flags, just like the U.S. is known to take out its own citizens to cause consent for war. They manufacture consent, and we don't want more Americans dying for unnecessary wars. We could have a government of action that fights for working families with our 4-point economic plan that will help us rebuild America, hire the unemployed, and everybody that needs a job to rebuild the country, the roads, buildings, bridges, and send them to the farmland if necessary. Have public ownership of natural resources. Why should the oil we have go to Wall Street? Have public banking ownership. We shouldn't have interest loans. That's why people are always in debt and they can't buy their own home because they'll be in debt for life. Or student loans, all the debt that they're in, they can't start families. I was like, there's very little birth rate recently because the younger generations can't afford to have families. And also have an economic bill of rights so those young generation could have families.
And then the Economic Bill of Rights includes not only a right to a job, right to a home, a right to education, health care. Even FDR talked about recreation opportunities. In other words, what's wrong with everyone being able to have a good life just and enjoy their life and have fun? I mean, even simple things like that are a part of an enriching life. And that is why we also stand for the Economic Bill of Rights that could have been implemented had we not had Harry Truman as the replacement for Henry Wallace in 1945. So yeah, and if we actually do have public ownership of resources, things that we all share together, the land, the trees, the water, even the sunlight. You know, I mean, you have the former CEO of Nestle, who, as far as I know, is still the interim director of the World Economic Forum after Klaus Schwab stepped down, on public saying he thinks all water should be privatized for profit. This is not sane behavior, folks. And the things that we are seeing going on against Iran, against the Palestinian people, against the innocent Russians and Ukrainians in Ukraine, this is not the behavior of sane, thinking, spiritually minded, loving, compassionate people. And people need to wake up and see that. And it's great that CPI, you know, can draw attention to something that hopefully won't happen, but to make you aware of the fact that it could happen, but the fact that we're drawing attention to it and resisting it and telling you about it will put more pressure on those that might think otherwise. Because we have to understand that we can help to make that change. We can transition away from the kind of government that we have now and actually support a government that works for us, the working families, the working people, and not for the people at the top that just want to, well, control the world.